everybody. Welcome
Friday.
to Regional Property Unplugged. We have an awesome guest today. It's Brett from Mildura Regional Development.
Trying to get in.
Yeah, trying to get in. We're trying to squeeze in. Then Bobby and me. Beautiful day. We just got a few buttons we got to press. Sorry.
We'll get into it.
There we go. Here we go. We're losing it. There we go. See, we're the unprofessional.
Professionals.
Yeah,
That's
professionals.
Yeah.
That's
We're
it.
professional being unprofessional.
Yes.
Thanks for coming, Brett.
Yes, absolutely.
No worries.
Can you tell us about what is MRD and what's the role that it plays here?
Yeah, sure. So MRD was formed about 3 years ago. It's basically the merger between two bodies, Mildura Tourism and Mildura Development Corporation.
Yep.
And then when we're looking at the name, we go, well, what do we do? And it's tourism and economic development.
Yeah.
And that's really about regional development because tourism is just part of the local economy, really.
Yeah.
It's a $550 million part of the local economy,
Wow.
but it's a significant component.
Yeah.
And so hence the name Mildura Regional Development. From there, it's been really about how do we continue to help focus connection between people and business
Yep.
for the economic prosperity of this region, and that's what we're all about.
Hey, we were talking before, the positivity that in the community right now feels really good.
Yeah.
Like it feels like there's, we've obviously had a strange year, but everyone has across the entire world, really.
Yeah.
We've probably had it better than most countries, but particularly Mildura, you talk to any business people, they're all busy, and I guess that's a good sign for the future here.
Yeah, look, and we do need to be careful because there are two parts to the economy that, and one significant component was that did take that hit was the retail and the accommodation side of things.
Yeah.
For a significant
Hospitality,
period in
yeah.
hospitality.
Yes.
And so it's in all of us now to think about, well, how do we go and support those industries locally? We're starting to see some return in terms of accommodation and tourism.
Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time in that off-season break. As people will be aware, I call it the off-season break.
Yeah.
It was basically about making sure our brand, Mildura, was strong in the market
Yeah.
and present so that when people were thinking about when they could actually travel,
Yeah.
because they're all sitting there pent up in Melbourne,
Yeah.
wanting to get out
Yeah.
in regional Victoria, where are they going to go? And people know Mildura for its warm weather, the beautiful river,
Yeah.
the wonderful natural attributes, and just reminding them that we're here via that branding through the AFL LED signage and support of other activities, buses in capital cities, and also Bathurst was fantastic.
Yeah.
Being able to support a young local in Cam Waters.
That logo is, I think, is brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who come up with that creative idea, but I think the logo, it's so vibrant, so obvious. And I remember watching the footy that time and seeing it just pop up, and I was like, Mildura, it was really, really cool to see us being branded in that way. And I know there was a little bit of a post from sports, but why would you go to Mildura? But I think that it's really helped, hasn't it? Like it's kind of put Mildura on the map. So it was clever marketing from you guys. I think.
Look, and that was that was part of it. So the sports bet stuff, they got 1 million followers.
Yeah.
And so we got to get engaged in a little bit of friendly banter, and we came back and said, well, we heard you couldn't go to Bali this year, so we thought, why not Mildura?
Yeah.
And a few other people said, oh, great return to serve, and all that sort of stuff. And really, we didn't take that as a negative.
No.
We took that as that was noticeable.
Yeah.
And it stood out.
Yeah.
And that meant that other people took notice, and then the word got out further, and the more word you get spoken about, the more you change the conversation.
And you found through monitoring your website, etc., and the game between Geelong, you've noticed there's been a lot of travellers from here.
Look, we got a massive,
from Geelong.
So we got a 700% increase in visitors from to our site from Geelong.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that correlated in that same week when the LED signage was occurring. Now, the great part about that is then we then have anecdotal experiences from the visitor information centre locally, from other accommodation businesses that, there's a lot of people here from Geelong.
Yeah.
So it says that it helps to capture the marketplace. And really, we tried to target wherever we could games that involved large Melbourne clubs. And it didn't matter where it was interstate. Because they were saying, why would you want to go to Mildura from Perth? We weren't worried about Perth.
No.
Although it's great, we raised our profile and awareness there. But Melbourne was a target audience for us because it's about 25% of the visitors that come here. And so they're a captured marketplace to us, and you get 1 million people watching.
Yeah.
And it's amazing the number of times people go, oh, you guys must have been on that for hours.
Yeah.
It was 1 minute segments
Was
for
it
the
really?
whole game.
Yeah.
Really,
And that's
the
the sort of
impact
stuff.
was huge.
Yeah, look, it really
Yeah.
was, and we've been really grateful that people have reached out and said, oh, that was great, and
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. But what we're passionate about is Mildura.
Yep.
And we want
So
that
it should
to
be
come
because we
through.
live here.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah. I think the safest bet right now is to travel in Victoria.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything other than that, because we've been dealing with this whole, geez, I wouldn't mind going away. Just be good to go to South Australia. Adelaide's great. From someone that, I think everyone wants to get away and have a break. Really, it seems to be that Victoria is the safest. You don't have to cross a border. So, for anyone out there,
Yep.
come to Mildura. Look at the sun.
Oh,
It's about
look.
30 degrees today.
Yeah,
It's bloody
absolutely.
spot on,
Just-
right by the river.
Weather's been fantastic for it. It always is. I
Yeah.
mean, that's our draw card. Our climate is fantastic.
Yeah.
People call us the Queensland of Victoria, and
Yeah,
we are.
we have
there's
more
no doubt.
sunny days than the Gold Coast.
That is correct.
That is
Yep.
one
Yeah.
statistic I'm aware of.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
Bathurst.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Look, the opportunity to come up only weeks before with Cam, and we'd sort of committed to the LED signage, and we sort of were in the position where we really would have loved to have launched into it,
Yeah.
and we just didn't quite have the funds to be able to do that. Now, a few local businesses got together and said, look, we'd like to partner with you in this.
Yeah, how good's that?
And we said, yep, we're great. We want to get the Mildura brand out there, and that's what we were able to do. And sure enough, the local boy did the right thing by us,
Yeah.
and set a lap record the day before, and
Yeah.
gave us prime position there on the pole. And then after that, drove a great race, and obviously couldn't quite get that get past the Holden in that last 15.
Holdens are the go-to for me, but
Yeah.
Ford was, I was really hoping he'd win that race.
And he's just such a lovely guy. So
He is, yeah.
very respectful, and loves Mildura, and
Comes
loved
back here
being
a lot, yeah.
loved being a brand ambassador for us too. So he started posting when he was back and on the river and
Yeah.
all that
Yeah,
sort of
that's
stuff. So we're trying to do that more and more. Is find those brand ambassadors for
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
that are out
Well,
there. And,
yeah, look, we're happy to take sponsorship, aren't we,
Oh
Shona?
yeah, absolutely.
This Regional
Fun to
Property
find
Unplugged
us.
is getting pretty big, It's
Oh, well, you haven't had my bill for
1,000
appearing
viewers.
here.
Yeah,
So-
that's right. So, happy to take any sponsorship. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So tell us about the Start Here. Like, if anyone in Mildura that we haven't actually seen the campaign, the Start Here campaign, tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, look, to be honest, we had it all lined up and ready to roll out in July because,
Yeah.
we were heading to COVID zero or whatever what that was back then.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got to what we were calling COVID normal yet.
Yeah.
Which is not normal.
No,
Yeah,
no, that's
that's
right. But we were saying, if you're going to consider a holiday, why not start here? Like when you, and so we were able through some contacts to tee up Samuel Johnson, a very recognisable voice,
Yeah.
to voice over the ad for us, and he was great to work with. But it just gave us that little snapshot of what is everything quintessential about us,
Yeah.
the natural environment that we have around us, all the wonderful food, all the opportunities to come, and a safe place. That's
Yeah.
what we were trying
Yeah,
to
exactly.
to purvey, and Start Here was the idea is and when you're ready,
Yeah.
start with us, start
here.
your holiday, start
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So that was in July, and it had rolled out, and then obviously we had lockdowns and all that.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that the brand and the I guess the campaign still resonates
Yeah.
because
It does,
it doesn't matter if you start here back in July or you start
Yeah.
here now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still.
I think from a
within.
business point of view, the businesses that stepped up during COVID, which you guys did, seem to have come out better.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts. The ones that went, oh my God, I've got to start saving money and, stop doing the basics with business, probably then have potentially fallen away. And I think that's the important thing. It was an opportunity. You guys obviously saw it as an opportunity to reset,
Yep.
come up with some creative ideas, get that branding out there, run the gauntlet and advertise on the football, which I just thought was genius. And I think that I reckon we are seeing the fruits of that, and I reckon we'll continue to.
Yeah, and look, that's our hope. And it wasn't just we were also in the football record.
Yeah.
We were our ads got played at the Adelaide Oval during the Port Adelaide Geelong,
perfect.
Port Adelaide Richmond
Yeah.
final. And across all the big screens. So the Start Here, people started to recognise the voice. They
Yeah.
saw the branding.
Yeah.
All those connections start to make for people.
Yeah.
And so we complement it with obviously print media and a lot of the social stuff. And and really 40% of the visitors to our region are visiting friends and relatives.
Yeah.
So when I talk about ambassadors, everyone that lives here is an ambassador.
Yeah, yeah.
And if
Point.
we can't talk positively about our region
Yeah.
and what we have to offer, and there's a lot, then who is going to? So that's part of it as well, is that pride in the region. And if we can engender anything, it's that, and even, the Monopoly board.
Yeah,
How
I know,
great was
that's
that
cool.
to see?
Yeah. How did that come about?
Now, look, to be honest, we didn't have anything to do with
Right,
it.
I thought you might have been on it.
But it came
Unless
out.
they were watching this show.
Yeah. Look,
could have been probably.
I was thinking it might have been that. But look, what it did was give us an opportunity to say, hey, and here's another reason why you should be proud of your region. Here we are at Park Lane on the Monopoly board.
Yeah.
It came out shortly after being the second hottest property market in Australia, behind Cairns.
Yeah.
Why not be the Park Lane?
Well, we are
of the
at the
Monopoly
moment, and from a real estate point of view, we're just seeing so many, particularly Melbourne buyers, and I think, I was talking to a guy this morning who was saying that he thinks that there's a lot of, and you look at other regional areas like Ballarat and Bendigo, the Melbourne buyers are just buying sight unseen just in case they go into another lockdown and they can go to regional Victoria. That is, they reckon that's a big part of the market down around that area. But from an investment point of view, the returns that they're getting, the inquiries, the amount of virtual inspections we've done it with our mobile phones, which was something you didn't do before. The world's, real estate's changed. So I think, everyone's definitely looking regional Victoria right now, and from Melbourne, and I think that's a really good sign. People want to move up here. One guy ring, mate, it's too cold down here, I'm coming up to Mildura.
Yeah, and look, what we have as an asset that we really have to make sure we plug at every opportunity we get is our airport. Our airport.
We're an hour away from Melbourne.
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely. And not only that, we're now connected to Sydney, and we're we're connected to Adelaide as well. So all three capital cities we're connected to.
It's not bad, is it?
And in the space of as you said, an hour. And so I work a bit in Melbourne. I'd leave here on the early flight, and I'd be in a meeting in Melbourne at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And there's people in Melbourne who can't do that.
That's right. Yeah.
So we have that unique opportunity, and not only that, but we can be in the meeting at Melbourne at 9 o'clock, and then we can get on the 3 o'clock flight, be back here by 5:30 and out on the river skiing. They're the things that we have as a lifestyle. And what COVID has taught us is that we don't have to live in Melbourne to work in the
world's virtual now, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
And so you can have the lifestyle benefits and then fly in, and you can fly in for the weekend and go to the football or whatever it might be that you want to be able to do, you can do from here.
Exactly. That's it. And I mean, it's not just Melbourne. We can go to Adelaide. We can do this.
Sometimes. Depends if the borders are locked down.
When the borders are open.
Well, they're all open now, and certainly great to welcome the first flight from Sydney there 2 weeks ago, and be able to say, we now have that connection back in as well.
Yeah. It's a real beautiful heart, I think, Victoria.
Yeah, the hub that we are here, situated where we are, right smack bang between the three capital cities. From a business point of view, that's something that you guys work with the development side of it.
Yeah, that's right. So certainly that opportunity for transport and logistics in particular, really significant in our local region, and we have some great local people who have really driven that hard and have created significant amounts of jobs. That's underpinned by the fact that we have $1.9 billion worth of agricultural and manufacturing that goes, like food and beverage type manufacturing, that goes on. So it's complementary to that. So they're hand in hand. Then we get into things like solar. And our solar will continue to grow because there is a desire across Australia for energy. We can tap into that to the market now more and more with a couple of extensions that are going on between New South Wales and South Australia. That interconnector is construction starts September next year.
Right. So that means we can feed our power.
That's it. Kerrang Link goes in at I think it was 1.6 billion or something like that for the Kerrang Link, which is connecting Victoria into New South Wales there, but it enables for a spur to come off and capture that energy from our region and export that. But then there's these other things that are being created as opportunities for new energy sources like hydrogen. So, the potential for green hydrogen and the ability to export that, not only outside of our region, but outside of our nation and globally, are things that we continue to keep exploring and look at the opportunities.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is, it really is. And I think, having grown up in the region, And
Can't
they've
tell
gone
he's
away.
passionate, can you?
Oh mate, I'm actually like
Yeah,
absorbing
it's
all this
cool.
passion. I'm going, I'm so
Yeah.
proud of Mildura.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
You can see why the development board's going well because,
Oh
mate,
gosh, yeah.
he's just killing
This
it.
is
So
awesome.
he's very passionate.
Yeah.
but it helps to be able to create those connections.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
connections
Absolutely.
between people
Yeah.
and connections between business. So I've been away for a while, and I've been able to come back and take things that I've learnt along the way.
Yeah.
But apply them here, and then help to be able to facilitate those things that were already in place.
Yeah.
And try and cultivate that pride.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
ultimately, that's what it comes to. Means linking into education.
Yeah.
Means linking into the community. Means linking into small businesses.
Yeah.
And it means linking into visitors. Because
Yeah.
ultimately, the thing about visitation
Yeah.
is those visitors could potentially come for a couple of times and they go, you know what?
Yeah.
I want to move here. I want to
Yes,
live here.
exactly.
And then when I live here, I want to invest in here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring myself, my family, my business,
Yeah.
and then
That's right.
I become invested.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. You want that investment.
So, Wendy,
Yep.
who works for you,
Yep.
is I've had some dealings with her, and she's
Yep.
a lovely lady. I've noticed how passionate she is in her role. She said that it's evolving. I bumped into her a week or so ago, and she was basically going around and telling people in the hospitality world that there are things out there to help them with government grants and things that might assist them getting back into business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, again, I think she's taken your passion and that's fed down with her. Now she's going out there. That's probably something important to tell people that, if you've got a business like these guys here that need a shove, there is the ability for some support, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. And we've spent a fair bit of time, the state and federal governments have obviously announced a number of programs along the way. So our role is very much to be a facilitator
Yeah, tell
for
people.
that message
Yes,
to get out
exactly.
Yeah.
and share that, so that there are those supports to assist in a time where there are a number of businesses that have really struggled.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other part working with council in terms of the economic recovery plan for the region, understanding that there's an undercurrent also of impact on people's mental health.
Yeah.
And we have all been impacted by COVID in that way.
Yeah.
It's changed our lives, and it's
Yeah.
changed, and business owners in particular have a number
part
of
of
them
it, yeah.
have significantly been impacted. So it's okay to have those conversations.
Yeah.
And I know from my staff that have been out there and my team that help to try and position us for this recovery.
Yeah.
That people will open up to them, and
Yeah.
and it's being able to help put them in contact with the right resources. I've had great support from the Sunraysia Rural Financial Counselling Service.
Yeah.
People that we can put them in contact with that can help step them through processes that can help support their business and really help change their outlook potentially.
There's been like you said before, you had some businesses that have absolutely benefited from this, and you've had some businesses that have just
Yeah, it's
potentially gone down the.
heartbreaking.
It's
Yeah.
sad. So, I think
And that's where we started the Fork at Local Friday, which was just a way of saying, we're a team of 6 or 7. If we got together and go into one business, if one of us goes, like, that's $10, $15 you spend.
Yeah.
But if 6 or 7 of you go, that's $80, $100
Yeah.
that you're spending.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so suddenly with that, if you continually go to one place,
Yeah.
and we just said every Friday, instead of bringing lunch from home for that day, we're actually going to go in
Go
and
out.
spend
Yeah.
it in a business. And then other businesses have jumped on board as well.
Fantastic.
And it's been great to go out and support those places, particularly when it was takeaway only and that sort of stuff. Being able to continue, go in and do that. And then we used our power of social media to be able to reach out and then tell that story as well.
That's cool.
So amazing. So what's plans for 2021?
Oh, it's a really interesting one. Obviously, a significant part of the calendar in Mildura is around events.
Yeah.
And what do events look like going forward? I mean, that's a real challenge for all of
Yeah,
us.
true.
So there's elements of that.
Yeah.
What I hope to see coming in the next couple of months is people returning to our region and travelling here because they've seen the advertising, that they've connected with what we have to offer. I mean, April we were on Sunrise. We were down here filming it.
Saw
and
that.
being able to get the
Yeah.
message out about Mildura, and with the letter M in the virtual tour around
Yeah.
Australia. So I want to
We're
see
on the
those-
map. It feels like we're on the map.
Yeah, that's
doesn't
it.
it? It does really feel like that.
For
So-
tourism and investing
Yeah,
everywhere.
people want us.
So it's
they wanna come here.
continuing to grow on that. You know, the new Mildura South Sporting Precinct will be fantastic.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm
And
excited for that.
Yeah, a great opportunity for us to attract, sporting events
Yes.
of significant nature. But the Mildura Arts Centre, the MAC, it's a
Yeah.
wonderful asset that we have.
Yeah.
Always have significant shows. The backstage passes they've been doing have been brilliant at saying, look at this local talent that we have. You know,
Yeah.
look at the things that we have to offer from both from a cultural perspective,
Yeah.
artistic perspective, and then food and wine goes without saying with Mildura.
That's right. Yeah,
Exactly.
But a big one will be a show that's coming out with SBS Food and Stefano.
Stefano's back.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
so
That's
yeah,
cool.
so we've helped to support.
Yeah, one of
through
our
that.
new local councillors.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
We hope that creates a bit of vibrancy
Yes.
too. There's a bit
Oh,
of new blood in
look-
there, and I think that's exciting for Mildura.
keep an eye out for the teaser because I tell you, it makes
Yeah.
the hair on my legs
Oh,
stand
really?
up.
Really?
And,
When's that start?
Yeah, so it's targeted for March next
Okay,
year.
yeah.
But the advertising started on SBS.
Yeah.
Just introducing.
Well, he's another ambassador, isn't he? 'Cause
Oh,
he's been so good
amazing
for the
ambassador.
community
Yep.
for so long. Probably
Yeah.
put us on the map to start with.
Yeah,
Really, I think.
Gondola on the Murray. You look
Yeah,
at that,
yeah.
and then they had the replays on
Yeah.
SBS Food recently. So
Yeah.
it's been great to just reinvigorate that connection with people. And look, the number of people that travel through here on the way to the Barossa or wherever, and they stop in and they want to go to Stefano's, but they also know that we have had restaurants for food. So
Yeah.
not just one, we've got a couple. You walk down Fee Street, you've got every type of cuisine that you
Exactly.
could imagine. It's easy to sell this place.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good point. And I think a lot of people get shocked how amazingly green people come
That's
here. They
right.
think because we're on the map quite, inland, I think people get a bit of a shock when they come here and see how beautiful and green it actually is.
Yeah,
So,
look, I mean, I suppose that's why they, years ago they used to the Oasis country. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
part
that's
of
right.
exactly that
the
was it.
marketing at that particular
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah.
when you fly in, you see the mosaic, if you
Oh,
will, of the
yeah.
vines
Yeah.
and all the rich produce that we have.
Yeah.
And the mighty Murray behind us. I mean, we
Yeah.
haven't even mentioned that, and yet,
Yeah.
here it is as a draw card.
given, yeah.
The houseboats. There's nothing better than jumping on a houseboat for a few days
Yeah.
because you relax.
Ah,
I've-
except for when you're driving through the bridge.
yeah.
Or you're trying to park.
Oh,
That,
yeah,
that bit's
that's
not
true.
relaxing,
That's
particularly when it's
true.
windy.
Yeah.
But other than that, the
Oh,
rest of
that's
it's
true.
relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
People that really struggle to shut off from the day-to-day interactions of
Yeah.
work and stuff.
Mm.
They tell me the story about they get on a houseboat and they go,
Yeah.
oh, I'm relaxed.
And if you go
Exactly.
further, far enough where you're out of phone range,
Absolutely.
you can't not relax.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's the best
And then you've got
thing.
great vistas like the Red Cliffs,
Yeah.
like
Yes, it's so stunning.
I recently took some people from Melbourne there that have been in lockdown for a while and pretty keen to get out.
Yeah.
And we parked under the cliffs there for the night and they went, like this
Wow, it's
vista,
magical.
Yeah.
I could be
Yeah.
in gorges anywhere around
Yeah,
the
that's
world.
true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
those things that we have to offer that we just need to be there and articulating.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad for this conversation. It's making me feel like
Yeah.
I take all of this for granted.
Yeah,
I've been
we
here
do, yeah.
most of my adult life and grew up here, but moved to Melbourne and been to other places and lived. But
Yeah.
now I'm just like, wow, I take this for granted. Full on.
Yeah.
It's just-
I think we're really lucky.
we are so lucky.
Not as lucky when it gets to 47, but other than that, it's.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
but as well as I do that the heat in that time is a different heat here. It's
It
not that
is.
humidity.
Oh, yeah, no.
And air conditioning is the way that we
Yeah.
escape
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And realistically, you know that if you get back out at night time,
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
exactly, it's
Yeah.
cooled down. The nights are
Yeah.
beautiful.
And the
Yeah.
health benefits. We have a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
people
right.
coming up from
Yes.
Melbourne because of the health benefits.
Yeah.
So.
The vitamin D, the
Yeah.
fresh air,
Yeah.
and this beautiful walking track behind us.
Yeah,
now,
it's so
the
good.
Riverfront
Yeah.
development.
So
And there's
amazing.
further work to go as we continue to develop that. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. The Powerhouse Precinct due for completion next year.
Yeah, great.
There are lots of things coming in this next 12 months that we can be proud of as
Yeah.
citizens and
That's
be
amazing.
excited for as well.
Yeah.
We'll see the logo on the AFL fixture next year.
That's part of the planning we've
Yeah,
got
good.
going at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I imagine that there'll be some opportunities there. We've formed a good relationship with SEN. So you know,
Hutchie.
with Hutchie. Hutchie was
yeah.
in town yesterday.
Was he?
so-
I've met him a couple of times. Hutchie's a good man.
No,
yeah.
very. So SEN Track has launched in Mildura lately.
Yep.
They're keen to continue to grow that. Want to work with us going forward as well.
Yeah, he's a good fella.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, well, this has been amazing. Thank
It has
you so
been good.
much
Yeah,
for
thanks,
joining
Brett.
us today.
It's been brilliant.
Hopefully there's some more conversations. So if anyone wants to check out the resources from MRD, like just hit your website.
Yeah,
give us a
absolutely.
calls and see what happens.
Yeah, so website milduraregion.com.au for the economic development, for
Yep.
lots of links to various other programs. And then if you're thinking about a holiday to Mildura, visit mildura.com.au.
Come to Mildura.
Invite your families here.
Yeah.
New website, it's been fantastic to launch,
Yeah.
and some great, certainly great photos and
Yeah.
links to Instagram, and lots of things to taste, to explore, and to where to stay.
Amazing.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. Really
Cool.
appreciate it. It's been a really good chat.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Not a problem at all.
We'll see you all next Tuesday. And if you do visit Mildura for the first time, hit up Mark and he'll have a coffee with you.
Righto.
And he'll pay.
I'll shout. My shout.
All right, okay.